My good friend Purplecliff texted me the other day. If you don't follow Purplecliff on YouTube, go over, subscribe to his channel. I'll leave a link for his channel in the description below. He's super entertaining, very funny. I guarantee you it will be the biggest W of the day today. But he texted me the other day and he said to me, "Hey, Danny," because he shouts at me whenever he talks to me. So I just assume when I read his text messages that he's shouting at me. He said, "Hey, Danny, what kind of impact do you think Legends Arceus will have on the Pokemon TCG?" I thought to myself, okay, this should be a pretty easy response. I'm just going to type up a little response to him and say, "Hey, Purplecliff, I don't think it's really going to have that many impact. There's really no correlation between the two. I don't really see any spillover from the video game into the TCG and vice versa. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that happens." I was just about to hit send and I was like, wait a second. What if the answer is a bit more complex than that? What if there is some sort of correlation? How would I determine the answer to that? And I started thinking to myself, and I decided, okay, I'm not going to respond right now. I'm going to think about this. And then I decided to record a video, so that way I don't have to respond to Purplecliff. You can just watch this video. So boom, there we go. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Legends Arceus and what kind of impact it might have on the Pokemon TCG. But before we begin, what is going on, Fan Clan? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Happy Friday. If this is your first time here, make sure you go back and watch the video that we posted on Sunday of last week where we talk about the Evolutions market, because we are giving away 2 Evolutions Elite Trainer boxes, 1 Blastoise, 1 Charizard. All you have to do to be entered to win is go back to that video, leave a like, leave a comment, and then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Boom, that's all you got to do. We're going to announce the winner in 2 days, this upcoming Sunday, when we have our video come out about our big, giant, Brilliant Stars giveaway. Super excited for that. With that being said, let's jump into this discussion. I do have some data, some figures that I'm going to share with you guys, but for the most part, this is going to be more of a discussion-based video, more of an opinionated video. I want to hear your guys' opinions, so make sure you leave a comment down below. Maybe you found something I didn't. Maybe you know something I don't. Maybe you can help educate me a little bit on what kind of spillover there might be, some kind of financial impact that there might be from a successful video game launch, because Legends Arceus has been very, very successful, and we'll talk about that in a second, and how that impacts the TCG. So I thought to myself, well, how can I find this information? So I go to Google. Google is my friend sometimes. And I type in financial sales data for Pokemon TCG through the years, or whatever I typed in. And I Googled many different things for several different minutes, and I couldn't find really a whole lot of information. Pokemon really likes to hold a lot of financial information close to the chest. You can find a lot of figures when it comes to video game sales, but you cannot find a whole lot of broken down information when it comes to TCG sales. Plus, there's so many different markets. There's secondary markets, things like that. More financial implications, more financial impacts than what you would see in just the video game. So I kind of abandoned that thought for a minute, and I was like, hey, let's try Twitter. Let's post on Twitter. I'm going to post a poll on Twitter. I'm not very popular on Twitter, so if you want to follow somebody and participate in these not popular polls, you can find me at Danny__O. But I asked Twitter, and I said, did Legends Arceus make you more excited, less excited, or the same level of excite for Brilliant Stars? And I really kind of narrow-mindedly started on just Brilliant Stars instead of expanding things to the entire Pokemon TCG. And for the most part, I got some answers, not a lot, a couple hundred responses, and they said, for the most part, most people had no change in their level of excite. There were 71% of people who said, no, it doesn't really impact my decision at all. My change, there's no change for me. I'm still the same amount of excite for Brilliant Stars. 25% of people said, I am more excited for Brilliant Stars because of Legends Arceus. 2% of people said I'm actually not. I'm actually less excited now because of Legends Arceus. I wonder what Legends Arceus did to them. Maybe they tried to catch a shiny and couldn't do it, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm never buying Brilliant Stars. So I decided to go to Instagram, sell out for Instagram. You can find me at Danny.Phantump. And I said on Instagram, on my story, hey guys, does Legends Arceus make you more excited to buy, or more excited for Brilliant Stars? And 65% of people said, yes, it does make me more excited. 35% of people said, no, it doesn't make me more excited. So it's probably either the 2% of people who are less excited, or the 33% of people who are the same level of excite. So I was like, okay, so I've got that. That'll give me a little bit of information, but how else can I approach this? How else can I tackle this? And I started to think a little bit more outside the box and a little bit more on the complex scale of things. And in order to do that, I started looking at more of the analytical data behind how Legends Arceus has performed versus how the last installment of a Pokemon main series game has performed. And Legends Arceus has done extremely, extremely well. I know there is some negative feedback behind graphics and a couple of other things, but for the most part, the game, for as far different as it is from normal Pokemon games, is being extremely well received. So well received, in fact, that it has an 8.1 user score rating. Now, that is only based off of 1,800 user ratings for the most part, but Sword and Shield only has about 5,600 user ratings, and that user rating score is a 4.6, which is nowhere near as well as what Legends Arceus has performed. When we look at sales figures, Legends Arceus is actually the second fastest physical selling game for the Nintendo Switch behind Animal Crossing. It sold 1.43 million physical copies in Japan, which is absolutely insane, which is well behind, or still quite a bit behind, what Animal Crossing did. Animal Crossing did 1.88 million, but still above what we saw from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which finished with 1.4 million physical copies sold in the first 3 days, and well above the 1.36 million copies that we saw Sword and Shield sell within their first 3 days. That's just physical copies. That's not even including the digital downloads that might have occurred after the fact. So what we can find out, and I already knew this information, but I wanted to actually find data that backs up my claims. I knew this game was going well. I knew a lot of people were really, really enjoying this game. You can see it on Twitter, you can see it on Instagram, you can see it on Discord, you can see it on Reddit, see it all over the place. People love Legends Arceus, and why shouldn't they? It's a fantastic game. It is super fun. A lot of people are struggling to put the game down, which leads me to what I actually started to find. My actual hypothesis started getting formed based off of customer experience, brand experience. And I was like, ding, that's what we're going to do. We are going to try and figure out if brand experience and customer experience being super positive is going to have a positive impact on sales and what kind of spillage over there might be. So my hypothesis is basically, now while I don't think that this is going to have a huge impact on the Pokemon TCG, I do think it is going to have some impact on the TCG. I think a lot of people who are starting to lose a little bit of interest in Pokemon are going to start coming back into Pokemon. There is, believe it or not, quite a bit of spillage between the TCG and the VGC. When I used to go to competitive events and either play or work at competitive events, there was a lot of VGC players who also had interest in the TCG, but they were very more selective on their interest level of the TCG. They wanted to play competitive cards, or they wanted to play cards that they really, really liked. They really, really loved. And if Legends of Arceus is so good, and our next set is going to be Brilliant Stars, which is coming out right after Legends of Arceus, people are already hyped. They're already excited. So there should be some spillage into Brilliant Stars. And then we have our next set, which is going to be coming out in, May? Which is going to be Astral Radiance. And that is going to actually have Legends of Arceus cards in it, basically. There's going to be new Pokemon that are going to be in it. It's going to be more tailored to what we saw when we played Legends Arceus. So I started looking up different things to determine the psychology of excitement and how it can boost sales. I told you, I went down a huge rabbit hole when it came to learning this information, when it came to researching this information. Honestly, I think Purple Cliff was just tired of talking to me, and he wanted to send me on this impossible mission that way he could just stop talking to me. He knew it would just eat me up for like 24 hours straight, and I would just leave him alone. Excitement leads to impulse buying. That's what brands try and do. So the fact that Legends Arceus came out a month before, not even a month before the next set, Brilliant Stars, comes out for the TCG, means that Pokemon is generating all this excitement, generating all this hype, and that leads to impulsive decision making. They can't just go out and buy another copy of Legends Arceus. They're going to have to buy Pokemon related things. Well, what is the Pokemon TCG? Obviously a Pokemon related thing. It's a Pokemon related item. Obviously there's going to be some correlation between an increase in all product sales. So PokemonCenter.com might see a boost. Target, Walmart, all these retail stores might see a boost because their Pokemon merch might sell better, or their Pokemon toys might sell better, but ultimately TCG is going to see some impact for that. I don't think things are going to sell out like crazy. I don't think we're going to run out of Brilliant Stars and we're going to run out of Astral Radiance and we're going to run out of all these different TCG products again, but I do think there is going to be some impact that is going to occur on the Pokemon TCG. So I started looking a little bit deeper. Brands with a strong brand experience command 79% higher purchase intent. A Mesh Experience study revealed that a positive experience has around 3 times the impact on brand consideration compared with a neutral experience. So basically, when we had Sword and Shield come out and people were like, this is a meh game, it didn't go very well. There wasn't a whole lot of extra attention that people were giving to other facets of the Pokemon brand. But with a game like Legends Arceus, which is a positive experience for a ton of people, then all of a sudden people are like, whoa, I love Pokemon again. This is great. I love this game. What else can I find for Pokemon? Hey, look at this. There's an Arceus V-Star in this next set. Well, I want to get an Arceus V-Star. I'm going to go buy booster packs of this next set of Brilliant Stars. And 79% of the time, people who have a positive experience with an object have higher purchase intent, so they are more likely to buy. 52% of consumers say they have made an additional purchase from a company after a positive customer experience. Again, they're not going to go out and buy more Legends Arceus games because they already have one. You only need one. But they might go out and buy more Pokemon items, which then spills over into the Pokemon TCG, which is why I think there is going to be some impact there. Positive customer experience can increase customer spending up to 140%, according to customer experience stats for 2021. People are likely to deal with your brand in a much larger capacity, become more loyal to it, and even recommend it to others. So 140%. That is an absolutely phenomenal number. 140%. According to customer experience stats for 2021, you are much more likely to deal with a brand in a larger capacity. So if you're somebody who is just playing the video game and your only care is the video game, if you had a positive experience playing Legends Arceus, you are 140% more likely to spill over in a larger capacity. To either start buying plush, to either start buying dice or Pokemon games, maybe a different Pokemon game for the Switch, or the Pokemon TCG, especially as Astral Radiance comes out and you have more of a throwback to Legends Arceus, especially when Brilliant Stars comes out and you have this awesome alternate art of Arceus that you really want. There is going to be some kind of impact that happens there. Brand experience is important because positive experiences facilitate deeper connections, inspire audiences, and ultimately deliver results. When you have a positive customer experience, you are more likely to tell friends who are telling friends who are telling friends. And when you start looking on Twitter, when you start looking on YouTube, when you start looking on Instagram and you see all this excitement about Legends Arceus and all this excitement about Pokemon and all your friends are talking about this game, doesn't that make you want to go out and buy it? Doesn't that make you want to get back into Pokemon a little bit more? Doesn't that bring up some of that excitement for Pokemon? And you're like, well, I want to talk Pokemon. I want to play Pokemon. This is why people collect. We talked about this in our Why Do People Collect video. We talked about this. Some people collect simply as a social event, a social experience. This gives people more of a reason to talk to each other. It gives people more of a reason to bond with each other because they're sharing in similar experiences, similar passions. And that's how this is going to spill over into the TCG because it is going to bring Pokemon to another level, a step above of where they currently were. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a huge leap and everything's going to sell out all over the place. I am saying, though, that according to my hypothesis and my research, there is going to be a financial impact for Pokemon from Legends Arceus to the TCG, and it will be much more impactful than what we saw from Sword and Shield. What I would compare it to would be more what we saw from Pokemon Go. And I can just tell you flat out, Pokemon Go, when I was involved in the competitive scene and I was playing competitive at events and I was going to events for a lot of them, I knew Pokemon Go played a huge impact on the TCG because a lot more people came back into the game. A lot more people came back into the hobby. They were seeing all of this stuff in Pokemon Go, reliving nostalgia, and they wanted to go and they wanted to play. They wanted to relive their childhood, so they started going to events more. Regional numbers shot through the roof. It started having a big impact on the Pokemon TCG, and it lasted for quite a while until things started dying off. So Pokemon really needs to hit a home run in about 6 months because that's kind of when a lot of this love for Arceus is going to start falling off a little bit. They're going to have to figure out something else that's going to drive up that customer experience again to get a lot of people back into the game. But I thought it was super, super interesting to start researching these stats and how likely people are to spend more money and what additional products, or how much more likely they are to spend money on additional products when they have a positive experience. And that positive experience that we saw in Legends Arceus is going to spill over, in my opinion, in the TCG. Let me know what you think down in the comments section down below. I'm very, very excited to hear your guys' opinion on this. I don't know why this fascinates me so much, but it does. So I hope it interests you guys as well. Guys, make sure to hit that like button down below. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to spread the channel. We're going to 100,000 subscribers this year. We need your help to get there. So please share the love. Hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Guys, I will talk to you soon. Peace.